The cost of becoming a brand. People, what up? What's good? It's your boy TwoCentz, man. As y'all can see, we have an interesting topic here today, man, from Tommy NFG's YouTube channel. I mean, basically, right before we even get started, like, you become a brand, you kind of lose some of your, hold on, let me say the word right, y'all, autonomy. Come on, man. I mean, yeah, you know, your decisions, you know, you're representing something, so you kind of can't act however you want to. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm expecting him to say regardless. Y'all, let's get into it, man.
Ever since Mr. Beast blew up in 2020 and slowly worked his way up to be the face of YouTube, people have been saying he altered the way YouTube completely works, or he quote-unquote ruined YouTube. Everything became about pop-up text and crazy CGI visual effects in a video. If you don't have the budget to burn a man alive, then you might as well hit the door because you're not gonna make it and you're better off just working as one of Mr. Beast's editors to fulfill his empire. Even Mr. Beast himself admits all the time that he completely changed the fabric on YouTube. Because of that, last year he started changing his video styles to be more slower and comfortable to watch.
This is an interesting approach that he's taking. Because I mean, you know, I feel like we always hear, you know, people, whoever, you know, starts getting brand deals and whatever, like, they're no longer authentic or whatever, but he's saying like him becoming a brand has affected the way content works for every single, you know, other creator. And that, you know, that's an interesting perspective that I haven't heard.
Also tweeting out at other creators to stop doing that type of overstimulating content. But the damage from that has already been done. Now, I'm gonna be honest, while he did impact YouTube to be in that type of format and creators out there still follow it, people saying nowadays that authentic creators no longer happen because of Mr. Beast are completely wrong. I mean, come on. You're watching me. Yes, I'm glazing myself. I will say come-ups with someone like Queso, for example, are a perfect example of how they still happen.
I'm gonna be honest though, you guys, and you feel like you should know this. You know, everybody, I guess when it comes to content creation, regardless of their size, they want to be themselves to some point, but nobody is being completely 100% authentic with you, regardless of what you think or what you believe, bro. Like if you haven't interacted, even if you have interacted with the content creator, right, or you know somebody personally, they're not acting 100% the same on camera as they are in real life. You know, people code switch, even if forget content, right? People code switch every day, all day. You talk to me differently from the way you talk to your mom, differently from the way you talk to your boss, from your girlfriend, from the neighbor down the street. Like, you know, who's really authentic? You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of I feel like that complaint is kind of played out, bro. Cause like who's really authentic, man? Now I understand, you know, there's a level of authenticity that people enjoy to see, like whether that be on stream or on video, and there's definitely, you know, the opposite of being authentic, completely fake, completely, you know, artificial. But at the same time, bro, y'all gotta stop pretending like you're going to get 100% authenticity from any creator, because you're just not going to, bro. And that's my authentic perspective.
Only 3 years ago was he streaming out a 2 megabyte Wi-Fi setup, and now he gets 50 to 60,000 viewers every time he streams. And someone like Speed, who literally sat at his desk like a classic 2010s YouTuber raging at games and shit. I think the thing that really changes creators,
right? Like people think
it's like a classic 2010s.
I'm trying to get a good freeze frame. You know, cause Speed isn't this way anymore. You know, he still wows out to a certain degree, but like people even be talking crazy on Speed, like, oh, he changed, like he not the same content creator no more. As loved as Speed is, because he's not completely tweaking anymore, but at the same time, even back then, although bro was, you know, young, teenage, we all act crazy, you know, especially as teenagers. Even back then, you know, you have some sense to understand that if I completely just wild out, you know, that's a lot more entertaining than if I'm being, you know, my full self. So that I'm just trying to help you guys understand what I mean when I say like nobody is being 100% authentic. Like you have to do certain stuff to garner people's attention in some way if you're making content, right?
Raging at games and shit. I think the thing that really changes creators is when they turn from a creator to a full-on brand. And someone I've been hearing people say that a lot about nowadays is Kai Cenat. As someone who started seeing Kai a couple of years back, I think even the biggest Kai Cenat fans will tell you he's completely changed the way he acts on camera. Down to the jokes he'll make and what he—
Also, you guys, you know, growing up, becoming more mature, or you know your situation is different. Like nobody can behave the exact same way that they did last year or the year before that or the year before that, because things are not the same as they were, bro. Like although he's still the same person making the same or going live, right, still doing the same stream, not the same, still doing the same thing as far as streaming and making content. He's not the same person he was, you know, when you first start watching him. You're not the same person you were when you first start watching him either. So like yeah, we gotta let people rock out, man. Like we gotta let people you know, do what they gonna do, man. And if it no longer entertains you, like you don't have to watch it no more. You feel me? I feel like I got a lot to say. It's only 1 minute. Let me be quiet for a little bit, y'all. I'm sorry.
He even does on stream is totally different. And look, just to get this out the way, I'm not some big Kai Cenat hater fan page that shits on everything he does. Like, I remember when they were trying to cancel him for not building a school in Nigeria because he said he was gonna do it. Acting like a school gets built in a couple months. This is in the middle of a village in Africa. Not to mention the amount of forms you would have to get signed off from the government, and also it's out of the country as well. But you could tell as he started climbing to the top of Twitch, he had this thing happen, which happened to Mr. Beast, turning yourself into a brand, therefore having to hold back things you used to do. And the problem with this specifically as a creator is because people see your come up and how you used to act. Then when they see you kind of pulling back on it or afraid to be like that, it feels like a betrayal to the people that used to watch you. I would compare perfectly to a creator and a music artist. A music artist can pull this off because they're signed to a label and usually come out polished to how the label already wants them. Meanwhile, with the creator, people see the change happen over time. There's a ton of TikTok edits of Kai from that time and people saying they miss him before he changed. And now because he's changed over time, it's made a whole new meme of people pretending to be Kai's viewers, basically saying they're the most parasocial people on the planet.
Bro, what are you doing?
Kai's talking.
Bro, what when did you—
If I ever hear that one of y'all are watching streams and watching YouTube videos like that, man, I'm personally gonna check you in to therapy of some sort. I'll personally do it.
you start watching Kai Cenat?
Y'all watching the 2Centz video with your eyes this close to the TV? You gotta get checked in, bro.
Well, it's not just Kai. Drewski's there too, and Kevin Hart.
Oh, y'all funny.
Also, his
man.
subathon did not help the narrative because people started calling it the begathon halfway through. He had things kind of set up like a TikTok live streamer when he was sleeping, where if you gifted subs, stuff would happen to him. Not no prank him John type of stuff, but regular things. And to reach the goal, he probably did have to do stuff like this. It's 1 million Twitch subs. But the clips just
look absolutely atrocious.
In the first 30 minutes of me taking a shower, it is called Dirty 30. Where while I'm in the shower, if you guys sub up, you guys can make me more dirty.
I believe so.
Wait, but how can somebody upgrade you though? That's my question. How do you earn upgrades?
They can get up to 500 gifted in the next 30 minutes.
530? God damn!
me personally, I noticed the difference though between this subathon versus his others. Is this one was a lot more corporate and focused on hitting the goal mainly. Like he had a ton of A-list celebs coming through, Kim Kardashian, Selena Gomez, etc. And I noticed when you reach that point to people where you as a creator feel unreachable and are with these huge people, you don't feel as authentic to them and they know you're gonna have to hold back things to reach that point. There was also a lot of celebs coming through and using Kai's platform just to promote their and dip. Mariah Carey literally
My thing is this though, y'all. And like I said, I had to be quiet for a few minutes. Let's let the video rock out a little bit. And I've talked about this in a video we did similar to this, but you know, nobody gets to. You can be mad at Kai for having to change his stream to be different than how it was, you know, because for whatever reason. But at the same time, bro, like understand that if you're mad about that, like you are a hypocrite, you know. Again, nobody's completely authentic. The way you make your money, right? Whether that be maybe you're a content creator yourself, or you know you go clock in, or whatever you do, bro. You can't act however you want to at your job. You have to do certain things, you know, in order for that check to keep coming in, or you're gonna lose your job, or he's gonna lose his sponsorships, right? I feel like as long as your morals ain't, you know what I'm saying, being compromised in, and his morals aren't being compromised, like what's the problem with you know, things having to change, bro? Again, maybe it's not as entertaining as it was, but if you're not entertained, you don't have to watch. You know what I'm saying? You can watch somebody else, bro, or you can make your own stream, make your own videos and stuff, man.
Showed up for 30 minutes to promote her album and left. Compared to Kai having a full sleepover stream with Drewski and Kevin Hart where they both actually cared about giving good content. That's what people actually liked about Kai in the past when he started doing this. Him bringing celebs on.
But and another thing is, like, y'all, you know, I'm obviously tapped in with Kai and streamers because I make content myself. Like, I have to, you know, understand what's going on to some degree. But at the same time, bro, like, if y'all have 30 days to watch streams for 6 hours a day, like, come on, bro, do something with yourself, bro. Even as a teenager, man, you like, there's no excuse, bro. You can be learning a sport, you can go into an after school program, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you shouldn't be so tapped in to the point where it's bothering you that it's not going the way that you want it to go. You get me?
On stream who don't just want a free promo. I understand too though that people change and sometimes that's not who they are anymore. But there's a difference between growth versus changing yourself to make sure your brand is 100% neat. Another way you could tell a creator is kind of focused more on their brand and less about authenticity is the way they approach certain political issues. This should be clear. I'm not saying every creator has to talk about every little political issue going on, but a good indicator for people has been how creators approach the topic of Palestine. At this point, Palestine has got to be like a 95% to 5% issue on how people feel about it. Right. A majority of countries agree how the Israeli government is and has straight up admitted they're ethnically cleansing Palestinians, except of course the United States of America. By the way, in the time you've been watching this video, they've made $37,000 to $43,000 off your tax dollars. So, in the name of freedom, this is a small sacrifice you must have said. People dying in.
Shit's crazy, y'all. And I'm in Chicago, y'all. Trump is let's just get back on topic, bro. It's just a lot of wild stuff going on, man.
America, we got to give it to Israel so they get free universal healthcare. And people have been really getting on Mr. Beast for not saying anything about it. You know, as the internet charity guy who gives money to.
Why do y'all care what he has to say about it though? You know, why aren't you speaking on Israel? Why aren't you speaking on Donald Trump? Why do you want him to, bro? What does it matter? Like, if you only care about the content, why do you care about his political opinion? And I'm not talking about Tommy NFG, but like, he's just saying how people are, like, you know, like we real weird with the pedestals that we put people on.
Impoverished people
as a society, man.
For the world. It was kind of expected by his audience to happen. He don't even gotta say nothing for real. He could just have a little donation next to all the donations he's done. But as of now, he hasn't done it. And there was also this stream last month where Mr. Beast was doing a charity with Aiden Ross and XQC, where Free Palestine gets said and he's dead silent and kind of looks like he's held back by something.
Okay. I didn't mean to scream at you.
Free Palestine.
What'd you say?
Dr. McNugget.
You just know a million things flashed through his mind in this moment. He thought of the worst. Feastables being yanked off 7-Eleven shelves. His channel getting banned by the Trump censorship hammer for teaching kids wokeness. My prediction is he had talks with his team and they probably told him not to do it because it's too politically charged to say anything. But for people saying it's because he doesn't mention politics, Mr. Beast donated $150,000 to organizations when the BLM protests were going on. And also said Black Lives Matter, which is a political movement. So, I'm not sure how much that excuse can be used. I'm not even saying this to discount all the charitable things Mr. Beast has done and helped people, but now that his brand is bigger, he's definitely more reluctant to get into issues like this, as you can see. I guarantee too, when the conflict's over after like 5 or 10 years,
then he's gonna speak on it, but like, y'all, like, we are, you know, and it's kind of a little different, like I said, when it comes to, you know, political issues and stuff, because it's like I said, bro, like I feel like it's cool to be corporate as long as you don't have to compromise your morals and that type of thing, bro. Like, not being able to speak up for people who have been getting, the people in Palestine who have literally been getting killed for 2 years. You know, not being able to say free Palestine because you got the brand deals and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's where I feel like judgment of Mr. Beast is you know, where I feel like you could be justified. But like him, you know, trying to promote his chocolate bars or whatever, burgers or whatever he got going on in the videos, as opposed to, you know, just making the whole video about, I put my friend in his grocery store and he has to stay here for 1,000 days. Like, being mad at him for promoting his products and stuff is whack. Being mad at the political stuff is understandable, but at the same time, like, again, why do you need him to say it so bad? And also, you don't know how, like, he could be one way and just avoid politics completely on camera, and then off camera he could be donating and trying to make stuff happen. You know, at the same time, like, again, bro, like, you don't gotta be so tapped in to the point where, you know, every decision that these huge content creators or the you know, every decision like makes you upset, or every lack of them saying this or that is like, oh, I'm no longer a fan. You get me?
I
think that yeah, I'm gonna try to be quiet. I promise y'all.
Speak on it. I say it was an awful, terrible tragedy and everything, but when he gets asked on why he didn't speak about it in the time, he's just gonna say, well, I mean, you know, I just didn't know the facts at the time. This is like the go-to for every war that's happened, including in World War II. This is one of the biggest political issues in the world right now, and we're in the most connected time, so I don't know if people can get away with this anymore like they used to. It's also a problem with someone like Mr. Beast, where you become so big and are a brand yourself that you lose all personality and become soulless in a sense. I genuinely could not tell you the last time I've seen a real emotion from Mr. Beast on video. Actually, scratch that. I think I finally saw a little more coming back from him when he told XQC this on stream.
You like Feastables?
No.
Kill yourself.
Yeah. These kids don't know anything about Mr. Beast 6000. Imagine he's been keeping him dormant inside and he's slowly been making his way up to take over like a symbiote. One of the things that are different with creators compared to actors is creators have to have a personality to stick out and grow their audience. With actors, you get fed a script and show emotions of a random character on screen. So it doesn't matter if the actor actually has zero personality, which is why when you lose that personality as a creator that people fell in love with, you start to disconnect with your audience. A good example of someone who I think does it well while changing themselves for the better is Speed. When Speed first started blowing up, he straight up got famous for ripping slurs and saying the most wild he could for the clip. 2021 Speed was a different beast. I don't think someone could have a come up like he did in 2025 nowadays. Over time though, as he grew up and matured, he still kept the same energy and personality without all the wild he was doing. I'd assume he probably looks back at some clips and cringes at how he was acting. And with Speed, you don't normally see people complaining about Speed holding back for sponsorships compared to Mr. Beast or Kai, because he still feels authentic, just mature now. In a way, I do kinda understand why someone like Mr. Beast or Kai may hold back on saying certain things. For example, what I was saying with Mr. Beast in Palestine. He may be able to say it, but it could risk potentially losing sponsorships.
And that's tough. Like, why y'all gotta make me compromise my morals, bro? That's the only thing, man. Don't we got freedom of speech? Isn't Mr. Beast an American? You know.
Having to fire employees, and then that person's life is ruined over what he said. But if you chose that path where you want to grow your brand and there's now a risk of you having to be inauthentic, then people are gonna notice, and eventually it could lead to making things worse. Anyways, that's gonna be it. Let me know how much subs y'all are donating.
Real interesting video, man. And also, you guys, at the same time, bro, like Mr. Beast can just stop accepting all the sponsorships. I'm not trying to pocket watch, but just assuming how much money bro has, like he can just do whatever he wants, say whatever he wants, and not have to worry about the, you know, having to answer to, I don't know, Walmart or whoever is sponsoring the videos. But shout out to Tommy NFG, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, man. A lot of different ways to look at this, you know, this topic of becoming a brand. But as always, it's your boy 2Centz. Say it with me, TCZ. We out.